In this video, I'm going to show you how I made this Christmas tree. I used round copper wire and some crystal bicone beads, but you can use whatever beads you'd like. To make this pendant, I did a little bit of hammering and a lot of weaving. So if you want to see how I made it, just stay tuned and I'll show you how. I think I'm going to use some 16 gauge copper wire, round. That should be sturdy enough. It should be easy to shape. I grabbed some random crystals, two sizes of reds, 4mm and 6mm, and these are Swarovski crystals back when we were able to obtain them. The color is cyan and they are bicones. I got some green bicones, emerald green, just random ones I had laying around. These are from Fire Mountain Gems. Forgot what color these are. I think they're gold shadow. But I just grabbed some random Christmas colored crystal beads. I grabbed my sketch. I'll loosely go off this. I don't know if you watch my shorts, but I just put out a short where I made a Christmas tree pendant with this design, and I made a frame for it with a braid. So I made it into a short because the footage I got was horrible. So I didn't want to throw that out there. So I just made it into a real quick short. So that's out there, but I want to try again. I'm going to rethink it and just make a thicker wire tree and then weave some beads onto it. Oh, I also need thinner wire as well. Let me grab some 26 gauge. That should be strong enough. And I'll attach the beads to my tree with that. So we gotta shape our tree. I'm just gonna loosely go off this sketch because I need space for the beads in between here. Let me start shaping. I'm gonna work right off the spool. And on top, I'm gonna make a little swirl so I can attach a bail. Probably can be a pendant or an ornament. We'll see how it turns out. I also got some round nose pliers. I'm gonna go just outside of my loop here. In my other tree, I crisscrossed it, but for this one, I think I'm just gonna go back and forth. Each time around, I'm just gonna go out slightly from the previous curve, branch, whatever you want to say. Just gonna shape it around my round nose pliers. See, that's not going up far enough, so I gotta bring it out and then around. There we go. One, two, three, four, five. Trying to decide how many passes I want to do on each side. At least 4. We'll see what 4 looks like. That looks good. And then for the trunk, I'm going to make another swirl. Need to grab some flesh cutters. That should be plenty. Might be more than enough. Let's see where it gets us. Oh, how does that look? And I'm just going to come through and shape it a little better before I go and hammer it out. Seeing if a 6mm would fit in one of these branches. All right, let's get our hammer and block. I'm going to try using my small hammer here. Let me start at the top. So I'm not going to hammer it all evenly. I'm going to come through and flare it out on the curves and stuff and see how it turns out. Occasionally I flip it over to keep things even. Okay, I think I'm about done fiddling with the shape. I don't want hammer marks in my wire. You may want hammer marks and leave them in. That's perfectly fine. So I'm going to try to even out my metal as best I can. We'll do this side facing out. It's not as bad. I've also got this coarse sand block. Let's see what this does too. Seems to be doing a good job. It's amazing that this foam block can do this to metal. That's kind of a cool look. You know what? I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna try to lay out some beads here. He looks good, right? I think that looks pretty cool, right? Let's get these attached. I'm gonna pull out a length of my 26 gauge. Trying to keep this pattern. See if I remember. Should have taken a picture of it, huh? Okay, so I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to attach my wire to the frame here. I should probably put it the other way, huh? Kind of come from this direction. Okay, so I'm going to come through and attach it to the top. And that'll leave enough room for my other big crystal. There we go. Attach it to the bottom. All right, so who's next? Must be a red one, right? I got them all over the place now, so it's gonna play it by ear now. And I like to go over under, so I'm going over this bottom wire and then I'm gonna go under and around the top wire. And then I am gonna attach it to the next branch, just because. Big red, and then green, and then gold. Whatever color that is. Oh my God, I'm shoving crystals everywhere. Holy cow. And I'm going over, so I'm gonna go through and go under the next one. Under and over and through. Can't have crystals laying around, I guess. put enough wraps to give you space to put another bicone. So I'm gonna use a gold one here. Come through to the other side and go under. Go under and around. Of course, I gotta push it through. Put enough bindings on there again to give you room before the next bicone or bead, whatever you're using. And the rest of this is pretty much sewing on your beads. And I think I'm gonna come through and tie this branch to the one above it. Oh my God, I did drop it on the floor. Sheesh. Yeah, be careful of your flying wire, flipping your crystals everywhere. Do the next level. Feed on a bead. Shove a green crystal on here. Okay, I think I'm going to do another level. Let's see what I can do on the next one here. I would guess this would be a red. I'll try to do as many as I can with this piece of wire. gonna fit in there, I wonder? Yeah, I probably shouldn't. I went the wrong direction, I think. Nope, that's not gonna fit. That's right. There's no right or wrong to this. Go with the flow. I think that's the end of the line for this piece of wire. Grab another piece of wire and I'm just going to start attaching. I think I'll do red. Slip a green on here. Stick a crystal on there. Can probably fit another one in here. I'll start pulling it through instead of pushing it through if I can. It's getting a lot of kinks. There's a gap down here, so maybe I'll come across. And go this way. Put a gold crystal down here on this branch. And then I'll go this way, this direction. Maybe attach this bottom part to this upper branch. Down yonder. I'm really getting carried away with this, aren't I? And maybe I'll cut it off right there. This is kind of taking forever, isn't it? Just a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to attach the swirl now. Might as well. Everything else is attached. Work my way over to this side and attach some crystals. Almost done. Put one last green one on. No, you stay in there. Maybe I'll wind this way. Okay, what do you guys think? Come through and tighten everything up and smash everything down. Make sure there's nothing poking out. Grab some 22 gauge and make a double wrapped loop with my crystal here. Give it a star on top of the tree effect. Make sure that doesn't come off. Shouldn't. Closed my spiral here. I grabbed this little copper-toned jump ring. These accommodate necklaces pretty good. Yeah, how's that look? Ornament, pendant, whatever you feel like. Yeah, I think I'm gonna oxidize this so it matches my jump ring. So here's how we turned out. I did oxidize it and then buff it out a little bit. I didn't want it too shiny. I wanted the crystals to do all the sparkling. So this little guy can be hung on your Christmas tree, or you can wear it as a pendant, or given as a gift, and they can choose how to wear it. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment, let me know what you thought. Subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to trust the journey. Happy holidays, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Would you like to see more holiday jewelry ideas? Just check out this video here. I got you covered.